Mother is everything, a story that touches the heart. I used to blame my mother. Blamed her for not giving me money to buy a fancy phone like my friends. Blamed her for not knowing how to dress, for talking in a way I thought was old-fashioned and backward. I used to hate how my father would scold me and not let me go out at night. I once told my friends, I wish I was born into a different family, more modern, better off. I used to think my parents were a burden to my freedom and dreams. But one day, I came home late from work and saw my mother quietly wiping her tears in the corner of the kitchen. I was speechless when I heard her tell my dad, "He's grown up now, has his own thoughts. Let's not bother him anymore." As long as I was warm and full, she said, but that as long as cost her youth. Collapsing behind piles of firewood, sweat-soaked clothes, and hands calloused and bleeding from picking vegetables and doing laundry for hire. What I gained were the mornings when she skipped breakfast to save money for my school fees. Those meals with only fried eggs, she'd say, "I've already eaten, you eat." But the truth is, she hadn't eaten at all. My father used to be a strong man. Now his back hurts, and he walks with a limp after over 30 years of working as a construction laborer, carrying bricks and bags of cement just to support my education. Once I told him, "What do you know? Times have changed." He stayed silent. I didn't know that he had ridden his bike for half a day just to apply for a full tuition scholarship for me. My father didn't speak much, he acted. I used to resent them, called them old-fashioned. I didn't know there were times my mom sat counting every small bill, crying like a child because she was short on hospital fees for me. I didn't know my dad had his wages withheld for 3 months and had to borrow money so I could take the university entrance exam. I kept demanding things, asking for more, but never once asked if my parents were tired or if they were okay. I didn't know my mom once fainted in the field from the scorching sun. My dad would stay up all night because of back pain, but still forced himself to get up early for work. Then, when I had a job and money, I said, "I'm too busy." "Mom, don't call so much." The calls became fewer and fewer. The visits home became rare, and my parents aged faster. I brought gifts to my boss, treated my friends to meals, bought movie tickets for my lover. But my parents, they still lived in the countryside with the old TV, the old rice cooker, and the torn clothes my mom kept mending and wearing. When my mother passed away, I cried like crazy. I threw a grand funeral, invited people to mourn, even hired an online live stream service. I wanted the world to see how much I loved my mother, but she was no longer there to witness it. She didn't need a coffin covered in fresh flowers. She only wanted a meal with me sitting beside her. She didn't need a grand feast to send her off. She just wanted a hug, a hand to hold while she was still alive. We often blame our parents, forgetting one simple truth. They spent their entire lives just to make sure we had enough. Don't wait until there's no one left to call mom or dad before you start appreciating them.